Boston Bruins too-many men penalty, 1979. Game 7, 1979 Stanley Cup semifinals. The Boston Bruins are leading the Montreal Canadiens 4-3 with just minutes remaining. The Bruins are on the verge of eliminating their bitter rivals and advancing to the Stanley Cup final. Then it happens. A routine line change goes wrong. The Bruins are whistled for too many men on the ice. It's a technical penalty, the kind that gets called a dozen times a night in the regular season, but is often overlooked in crucial playoff moments. Not this time. The Canadiens get a power play. Guy Lafleur scores to tie the game. Montreal wins in overtime. The Bruins' season is over. What makes this call so controversial isn't whether it was technically correct, it's the timing. In the most critical 2 minutes of a deciding playoff game, the officials chose to enforce a minor bench infraction that had little bearing on the immediate flow of play. It's like deciding a Game 7 on a jaywalking ticket. The Canadiens went on to win the Stanley Cup. The Bruins went home wondering what might have been. Bobby Nystром's contested offside Stanley Cup winner, 1980. Game 6, 1980, Stanley Cup Final. The New York Islanders and Philadelphia Flyers are tied in overtime. The Islanders are 1 goal away from their first championship. John Tonelli carries the puck into the Flyers zone and passes to Bobby Nystrom, who scores the cup-winning goal. The Islanders celebrate. The dynasty begins. But wait, video analysis shows the zone entry was clearly offside. The linesman missed it. The goal should never have counted. This wasn't just any goal. This was the goal that launched one of the greatest dynasties in sports history. The Islanders went on to win 4 consecutive Stanley Cups. And it all started with a blown offside call. If the linesman makes the correct call, the Flyers get a defensive zone face-off. Maybe they win Game 6. Maybe they force Game 7. Maybe the entire hockey landscape of the 1980s looks completely different. Joel Otto's infamous kick-in goal, 1989. Game 6, 1989 Stanley Cup Final. The Calgary Flames are battling the Montreal Canadiens for the championship. Calgary forward Joel Otto scores the decisive goal, but Montreal erupts in protest. They claim Otto kicked the puck into the net, a clear violation of the rules. The officials huddle. They decide the deflection was accidental or incidental. The goal stands. Calgary wins the Stanley Cup. This controversy highlighted a fundamental problem with the rulebook. What exactly constitutes a kick? Is any movement of the skate illegal, or only a distinct kicking motion? The NHL would spend the next decade trying to answer these questions, all because of this one controversial goal. Wayne Gretzky's uncalled high stick on Doug Gilmour, 1993. Game 6, 1993 Campbell Conference Final. The Toronto Maple Leafs are leading the series 3-2 against Wayne Gretzky's Los Angeles Kings. In overtime, Gretzky high sticks Maple Leafs forward Doug Gilmour, drawing blood. By rule, it's a 4-minute double minor penalty. Referee Kerry Fraser doesn't call it. Seconds later, Gretzky scores the game-winning goal, forcing Game 7, which the Kings win. This non-call crushed Toronto's hopes of reaching their first Stanley Cup final since 1967. It was so egregious that Fraser later admitted he missed it. Even Gretzky himself admitted in 2024 that he probably should have been in the sin bin. This single play exposed a critical flaw in the officiating system. One referee simply couldn't see everything. The NHL eventually adopted the 2-referee system, largely because of this incident. One missed call literally changed how the game is officiated. Brett Hull's infamous toe in the crease goal, 1999. Game 6, 1999 Stanley Cup Final. Triple overtime. The Dallas Stars and Buffalo Sabres are battling for the cup. Brett Hull scores for Dallas, seemingly winning the championship. But video clearly shows Hull's skate in the goal crease before the puck enters. According to Rule 78B, if an attacking player has a skate in the crease before the puck, the goal should be disallowed. The league upholds the goal anyway, citing a bizarre interpretation that Hull maintained possession throughout the sequence. Buffalo fans are outraged. No goal becomes their rallying cry for decades. The controversy was so intense that the NHL completely rewrote the crease rule the following season. The rigid skate in the crease rule was abandoned in favor of a simpler approach focused on goaltender interference. One controversial goal forced the league to rewrite an entire section of the rulebook. Martin Gelinas' phantom goal, 2004. Game 6, 2004 Stanley Cup Final. The Calgary Flames are 1 win away from the championship against the Tampa Bay Lightning. Late in the game, Calgary forward Martin Gelinas appears to score what would have been the cup-winning goal. Replays show the puck bouncing off his skate and crossing the goal line under Lightning goaltender Nikolai Khabibulin's pad. The goal is never called. The centralized review facility in Toronto lacks the definitive camera angles needed to overturn the on-ice decision. Tampa Bay wins in overtime, forces Game 7, and eventually takes the cup. This failure exposed a critical flaw in the review system. The technology simply wasn't good enough. The NHL responded by upgrading its camera systems, particularly the net cams, ensuring that future goals wouldn't be missed due to poor camera coverage. The Calgary intent to blow goal, 2004. The intent to blow rule might be the most frustrating in hockey. It states that play stops when the referee intends to blow the whistle, not when the whistle actually sounds. Game 6, 2004 Western Conference Final. The Calgary Flames are tied 1-1 with the San Jose Sharks, with a trip to the Stanley Cup Final on the line. Midway through the third period, Flames forward Marcus Nilsson jammed at a loose puck in front of the net. The puck slid under San Jose goalie Mika Kiprasov, clearly visible to everyone, except the referee, who had lost sight of it and was preparing to blow his whistle. Just before he did, Nilsson knocked it in. The official immediately waved the goal off under the intent to blow the whistle rule, stating that play was considered dead once he intended to stop it, even if the whistle hadn't yet sounded. The Flames bench erupted in disbelief. On replays, the puck was loose the entire time. Still, because of the rule, the goal couldn't count. Calgary eventually overcame the call and won the series, but the controversy highlighted how subjective officiating judgments could override clear visual evidence, a rule that has frustrated players and fans for decades. The Cody Eakin Vegas Major Penalty, 2019. Game 7, 2019 Western Conference Quarterfinal. The Vegas Golden Knights are leading the San Jose Sharks 3-0 midway through the third period. Vegas forward Cody Eakin is assessed a 5-minute major penalty for cross-checking Joe Pavelski. Video replay shows the hit was not a clear major penalty. The injury to Pavelski, he was bleeding after hitting his head on the ice, resulted from the fall after the initial collision, not the cross-check itself. The consequences were immediate and devastating. The Sharks scored 4 goals during the 5-minute power play, completing a stunning comeback and eventually winning in overtime. The NHL later apologized to Vegas ownership, admitting it was a bad call and a mistake. The 2 referees were benched for the remainder of the playoffs. This catastrophic error led directly to a major rule change. All major penalties now require on-ice video review, allowing officials to confirm the call or reduce it to a minor. The Carlson/Meyer Unreviewable Hand Pass, 2019. Just weeks after the Vegas incident, another officiating disaster struck in the Western Conference Final between the San Jose Sharks and St. Louis Blues. In overtime of Game 3, Sharks forward Timo Meier illegally batted the puck with his hand to Gustav Nyquist, who then passed to Erik Karlsson for the game-winning goal. Rule 79.1 clearly prohibits a hand pass that directs the puck to a teammate. Despite obvious video evidence, the Blues' protests were futile. The goal couldn't be overturned because, incredibly, hand passes weren't eligible for video review under the coach's challenge system. Blues captain Alex Pietrangelo questioned whether there was a different set of rules for 2 different teams. This incident exposed a critical flaw in the review system. Having advanced technology is meaningless if the rulebook prevents you from using it. The Tim Peel Hot Mic and the Confirmation of Game Management, 2021. In 2021, veteran referee Tim Peel was caught on a live microphone during a game between the Nashville Predators and Detroit Red Wings. What he said confirmed what players and fans had suspected for years. "I wanted to get a penalty against Nashville early in the third," Peel was heard saying, admitting he called a penalty not because a rule was broken, but because he wanted to even up the calls. This practice, known as game management, fundamentally compromises competitive fairness. Peel was fired within 12 hours of the incident, with the NHL stating, "Nothing is more important than ensuring the integrity of our game." Predators forward Matt Duchene summed it up perfectly. Punishing one team because the other isn't earning power plays is simply unacceptable. This incident confirmed that official integrity, not just judgment or technology, remains a serious problem in the NHL.